Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. It's another deadline stream. They just seem to come round so fast, don't they? So I hope you're all well. Could be a tricky week, this one, with captaincy for the first time for a while. Other than the blank for City, this is looking like it's going to come down to the wire to know more details on Harland. I think for me personally, if Harland is injured, I think I'm going to trust in Mr. Mo Salah. I can't see any obvious other pick for me really. It could go Saka, could go Foden, but I just think they're a bit too, not risky, but just, I don't know, they provide less value maybe overall. Hi Tanoki, hi Patrick, how are you guys doing? But yeah, I'll try to pick up as much information as I can. I'm going to be on Twitter across the board trying to find out what we can do with this man Harland, but I'm not confident with him, to be honest. Can't wait for Harland hat-trick. Coming in hot already. Yeah, it could well happen. I think Bowen's I think he is going to be out anyway, right? Like even if he does feature a little bit, I'm pretty certain he's going to be out for the majority of it. And United do look a lot better defensively now. It's not the best fixture for him, so I did like that move, mate. I think it's a solid move overall. Hi, Mateus, how you doing, bud? But yeah, we really need some of them green arrows now. I think I'd really like to be 500k. I think before the World Cup, that'd put us in a bit of a positive position. The ranks are still quite condensed though. Between 1.2 million and 500k, it's only about 25-30 points, I think. Yeah, it certainly is, mate. I think I can't see any move. This week. And yeah, my plan is possibly, I want to see how Rashford gets on. Against West Ham. He's definitely one of my thinking. And then I also want to see what Calvert-Lewin does. I'm not convinced with him yet. Like I mentioned in my video yesterday, he is differential, right? That he's 0.4% owned, but he's definitely someone on my radar. Because I'm looking at Mitrovic out next week. And the only way of doing that is, I don't know, by downgrading Zaha to someone else. I say Rashford, I wouldn't be able to do it in those two moves. Maybe Salah, I don't know. It's just really hard at this point to know what I'm going to do. So because I can't see the obvious move this week, I'm just going to kind of wait and see a little bit. Robertson to start, I think he should do. I mean, I never checked. How many minutes did he play in Europe, mate? Let's have a look. He got the assist for Nunez, didn't he, in the second half? Yeah, so he pretty much played the full 90. I mean, it's a tricky one. Klopp does like Tsimikas, I think, but I don't know. I feel like Robertson should start. Never give up FPL, rolling my transfer, more issues in game week 15. Andreas covers Harland. Yeah, I think it's the right thing to do if your team looks good. I'm in the same position, bud, to be honest. Rolling just looks like the better option. Webster to Ben White, I could do, but I don't know. I just think it's such a... I brought in Webster because for his next few fixtures, I didn't realise that I would need to play him against Chelsea. That's one thing that was maybe a little bit of a mistake. But I want to play him against Wolves and Villa. So I just feel like it's such a sideways move And is Ben White more than 4.5? Yes, he's 4.6, so I can't do it in one move anyway because I've got nothing in the bank. So I need a 4.5 defender if I was going to go down that route. Kick Robertson out for Dalot, Harland in team, but Kane captain. I think Kane's a solid choice for captaincy, mate. I think he's up there along with Jesus or a different Arsenal attacker, maybe Salah as well. Realistically, with Justin, Nico and whoever you bring in next week, you should have a decent starter. Exactly. I have got a kind of pretty solid looking team next week as well. I don't really want to use transfers on defence ahead of this reset of the World Cup. I want to attack the fixtures and kind of attack the rank, I suppose, for those couple of weeks. And I just feel like midfielder and striker transfers are going to be better overall. Is Luke Shaw a good shout this week? I believe so, mate. I think Tanoki mentioned in my video yesterday, with Dalot, I did recommend that he would be a good option, but actually he's on 4 yellow cards. So, you know, I'm not against bringing him in because, again, these players understand their, you know, the discipline levels. They know that they're very, very close to being suspended. It's a statistic that's going to be shared with them. But I do like Luke Shaw as well. I think defensively United look much better from the recent games. Not just in Europe. Obviously, we haven't played that much of a formidable opponent. So I would say, yeah, definitely Luke Shaw's a shout. Tanoki, if Tony gets the card, you would be glad for the 2 transfers. Yeah. So that's the point, right? I need to kind of, it's just a wait and see week for me. There's so many things that could happen between now and 15, basically, that it's just, yeah, it just makes sense. Mateus, you think DCL for Mitrovic and Shaw instead of Walker Peters are good moves? I think you hold on to Mitrovic for this week, to be honest. I don't really see... Oh, for game week 15. Okay, yeah, sure. I do like that. I do like that move. I think who are we playing? Fulham and Villa are our 15 and 16, I think, United's fixtures. So, yeah, absolutely love Luke Shaw for those 2. I think in the Premier League, he gets picked ahead of Malacia as well, by the way. That's the point. Malacia seems to be starting the Europa fixtures. Shaw comes on for a few minutes, but, yeah. So, okay, they understand. Maddison flashbacks, yeah. Never give up. Hit the like button and notice I am a Liverpool Football Club supporter. Well, thank you for the support, mate. Thank you for the support. Is it FPL first or club first? Harry, should I use my wild card? I think, to be honest, mate, at this point, if you haven't used it, you need to use it. The reality is we're going to get another wild card for the World Cup break, right? It's a reset button. And if your team feels like it's just... At this point, yeah, I just think you've got to use it. Just attack it as best you can. I haven't really done a wildcard draft for this kind of late on, I suppose. So I'm not sure who you'd bring in, but there's plenty of good fixtures to attack. Triple up Arsenal, maybe. Triple up City. But yes, guys, first plug of the morning. If you are new around here and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button for me. I've targeted 500 subs by the World Cup. I think we can probably do it. It's 3 weeks away, right? So I think we can do it. There's about something like 88, maybe 90 subs that I need. So yeah, if you want to and you want to support the channel, guys, it'd be very much appreciated. Started the channel in July. You know, what a journey it's been so far, and I want to continue giving out that content this season. No worries, Harry, mate. That's what I'm here for, bud. Like I say, sorry I haven't prepared sort of like a full wild card for you to go for, but maybe take a look at some of the players I mentioned in my watch list video. There's obviously plenty of other FPL content on YouTube that you can find. There's plenty of people that do all sorts of different wild card drafts. Tanoki, that's the rationale for my moves. Get into triple Arsenal and City after the blank game week. Yeah, I think, to be honest, there was a few people that have watched the channel that were mentioning that they were going to be wildcarding either, you know, sort of post the blank, basically, or making those moves towards that structure. And that's why I took the -4 on Foden and Saka. as well, right? Because I wanted to essentially attack those fixtures and knowing that people have got those players in their minds. Never give up. Can you predict Castagna's points against City? I have to play him. I mean, mate, I can't. He is playing at home, but I just can't see anything more than a City thrashing, right? I don't know, mate, to be honest. I'll go 1 point. He might get 3. I don't know. Maybe he gets an assist at best and then concedes 5. But I'm just not certain with him at all. 2 City, 1 Arsenal to 3 City, 2 Arsenal. Yeah, I think it's a good strategy, mate. The fixtures warrant it. Even with, is it Chelsea next for Arsenal after Forest? See, that's, you know, on paper it looks harder than it is. They are going to be a little bit more difficult to break down, I think, under Potter. I mean, Tuchel was also a kind of, you know, defensive, let's say, manager. But I think the reality is that Arsenal at the moment, they're going to be pushing, right? Both Arteta and Pep are going to want to be top of the league before the World Cup. So they're equally just going to be as kind of threatening, I think, which is why I wanted assets in. Right, shall we have a look across Twitter? Have we got anybody saying anything about Mr. Erling Harland? What's your thoughts, guys? What are we doing? What are we all doing? Are we trusting the armband on this yellow Dorito of death Norwegian monster? Or are we just putting it on Salah and just saying, let's not give ourselves any headaches? Or are we putting it on someone different? I think it's going to go to the wire. It's going to go to the wire. I don't see much activity on there at all. Tanoki, on like the super hindsight, if you brought in, say, Foden last week and Saka this week, then roll next week, you'll have your 2 1-week punts before the World Cup. Yeah, of course. I mean, look, the 2 transfers last week didn't work out, but I guess what I'm taking, I suppose, into the positive is that my game week 14 team was okay. Sorry, my game week 12 team, I think, was when I gained a decent rank, right? So yeah, if we have a look at 11 to 12, so I went from nearly 900,000 to essentially 500,000, right? So it was a 300 plus green arrow for me, 300k, I should say. Then dropping back down to 785. Yes, okay, it's a 200k red arrow, but actually I've gained still a little bit. So yes, in hindsight, the transfers were weak on that particular week, but I'm still slowly increasing on rank overall. And 4 more points, yeah, indeed. Captain Harland, yes, I think I don't know. I'm not confident with it. It's probably I'm least confident with it out of everything in my team, to be honest. It's the one thing that's giving me a bit of a headache. Hiya, SJ, mate. How you doing? Tanoki, I'd almost consider Saka vice captain for you. Yeah, I kind of considered it. I mean, in my team selection video earlier in the week, I said I probably wouldn't go near Salah, but I don't know. The guy just does something in midweek, and I just start knee-jerking a little bit. I just think, oh, man, like he's still got it. Like he has. He just needs to do something in the Prem. That's it. Like he's so close. He got an assist and a goal, by the way, in midweek, if you didn't know. For you, it's Kane. Yeah. Fair enough. I think Kane's a good option. Bournemouth are looking a little bit better defensively, though. Excuse me. Mateusz, or I could sell Robertson now for sure, and then in game week 15 I would sell Solanke for DCL. What do you think? I quite like Solanke's fixtures, though, for 15 and 16. That's my only problem with that move. But, I mean, the thing is, Robertson could do some serious damage against Leeds if he starts. That's the thing. Whereas I think Luke Shaw against West Ham on this isolated week is maybe a little bit... I don't know. I feel like West Ham could score against us. They're a bit of a bogey team for United. Van Dijk could be hauling if he decides to direct his headers against goal instead of stupid attempts of assisting. Yeah, I mean, the man is a machine in terms of getting his head on the ball, right? And Leeds do concede quite a fair bit from set pieces. So I think you might be right on that. He could be a 15-pointer this week. Tanoki, maybe the real Farmers League is the Champions League. Mate, I mean, it's just... He keeps doing it in the midweek, right? And that's the problem. I can understand why people do put the armband on him. And against Forest, you didn't foresee the 1-0 to Forest. Like, nobody could have foreseen that. It's just been so unfortunate. I mean, you've got to remember as well, in the 9-0 against Bournemouth, this guy didn't get a return. It's absolutely mad. Jude, would you take a -4 for Bowen out and Saka in? I think with Bowen's injury, I would probably say yes. I mean, who was your first transfer, Jude? Who did you already move for? Bibek, would you captain Kane if he was in your squad? I think I would lean towards him. But again, I think because I've got... I mean, if I had Kane instead of Salah, yes. So my order of captaincy would probably be... I would probably go Salah first. Then I would go Kane. Nah. Then I would go... I think I would go for Arsenal assets. Probably Jesus, Saka, Martinelli. And then Kane would probably be the bottom. Maybe that is just a slight bias, though, because Salah's in my team. But I do think Kane is still a good option. Hiya, Doctor. How you doing, bud? Shubham, whom to bench? Dalot, Dyer or Gomez? I think Gomez, right? I don't think he potentially gets a start. Maybe Never Give Up can tell you more as a Liverpool fan. I'm not 100% convinced. I think Dalot's a good option. Dyer against Bournemouth. I mean, surely that's a clean sheet, right? You're going to have to back that to some degree. I think Gomez, mate. Tanoki, the thing with this year, it seems many teams are kind of strong defensively. I wouldn't consider West Ham, Villa or Wolves as targets for attackers at all. I mean, I'd probably disagree on... I mean, Wolves, I'm not convinced with them. I think that defensively, they're just... I don't know, mate. I don't know. West Ham, I agree with. I think they've got better over the past few weeks. I don't think they'll be in trouble at all. I just think they had a bit of a slow start this season. Villa now under Emery, I can see them probably improving, so I agree with that. Wolves, I'm not so sure on. Jude, Wilson in, Daka out. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. So you've sold Daka, you brought in Wilson. Then I would say yes. I kind of like that -4 then. So you've got Wilson and Saka for Daka and Bowen. I like that. I like that -4. I don't think that's bad. Doctor, my weekly captain dilemma is sorted. I'm captaining Trippier. Good luck, mate. The differential captainer. You didn't end up captaining Trent, did you, last week? Or did you? I can't remember if you committed to it or it was just starting him. Wolves are in shambles, but you aren't seeing them getting 3 put past them. That's true. I mean, they're not conceding a ton amount of goals, but... Yeah, I don't know. They're in trouble this season, I guess. So I'm still probably going to not necessarily captain somebody against Wolves in terms of just the fixture, but I think they are a fixture that I would bring someone in for. Let's put it that way. Bibek, help me choose a captain, Jesus or Kane. Ooh, I'm going to go Jesus. Jesus. Doctor, you captain De Bruyne. Okay, good shout, mate, I suppose. At least he got a goal, right? Never get... Klopp said before the season start that Tsimikas would get more minutes on the pitch. He has, and it's a 50-50 between him and Robbo, just saying. Okay, it's interesting. I do like Tsimikas as well as a player. I think he looks pretty solid. Defensively, I'd say he needs to bulk up for sure. He needs to get stronger. But his deliveries, I can't really fault him for the deliveries. You'd go Kane. Yeah, I think with as good as Forest were against Liverpool, I don't know. I think Arsenal are going to do some business. Jesus, Kane or Trent captain. I'm still going to go Jesus, mate. I think Kane would be second. Trent wouldn't be a captaincy choice for me personally. I've never captained defenders though. That's just my personal view. I know certain people do. You know, I've seen some big hauls from defender captaincies. Doctor, last week I was on a -1 million, but thankfully Zuma saved my FPL and got about a 2k green arrow. Well, mate, that Zuma performance though, what was that, 15 points for him? What a haul. you do wonder if the bulking up thing is true about the Premier League. I just think that, I mean, he's not a centre-back, right? So it's not named necessarily as, I don't know, as, let's say, the main focus for him to be focused on. But I've just seen him get pushed off the ball just a little bit too easy from the eye test. Oh, yeah, no, I agree. There are definitely players that make it that aren't bulked. I just think that for him to be a true, let's say, Robertson replacement from a defensive point of view, because I feel like his attacking is really good. I really do. I feel like his deliveries, his set pieces, everything is really good from him. But just defensively, I just think he's that little bit weaker than Robbo. Maybe that's because maybe it's more positional, right? Because if you watch Robertson, like, he's not exactly massive. He's been pushed off the ball as well, right? Maybe it's just that delay of going in for the tackle and just holding back that little bit further to just not get skinned so easily. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Never Give Up can tell me a bit more, because I haven't watched the games physically. This is just from a sort of, a watching the games on TV. But anyway, for the Robertson pick then, for anyone who's asked a question then about Robbo being transferred out or playing him, then maybe he is a good transfer out this week. Because if there is a 50-50 toss-up, I know we like coin flips on this channel, but I would definitely recommend getting rid of him for that much money if he's not a certain starter. Doctor, talking about Jesus, I sold him for Tony, saved some money for the wild card, or for the World Cup, sorry. I don't want to be in a dilemma for any players get injured or go up in price. I understand that move, that's fair enough. I mean, both of them are on 4 yellow cards, I suppose, so they're equally as at risk for getting suspended. But look, Jesus, I've not had him in my team now for, I don't know, since the wild card, I think. And I do still really like him as a pick. I mean, you can always bring him back, right, post 16 if you wanted to. I mean, Arsenal's fixtures aren't perfect there. United, Tottenham, Newcastle, Brighton, West Ham. That's not an easy run anyway. You'd probably want to be bringing him in here. I mean, look at this run. That's absolutely insane. Everton, Brentford, Villa, Leicester. Yeah, Tanoki just mentioned that about the yellows. It's something I haven't really respected as much, maybe. I should have maybe mentioned that in some of the content I've created. I'll bear that in mind, to be honest. Because yellow cards, they are a strange one. They can go definitely under the radar. But like I say, these guys are professional footballers at the end of the day. They're being told week in, week out, I'm sure, that don't commit to that challenge, don't do this, that. They're being told and briefed well in advance. So I really can't see them picking it up. But then it happened with Maddison, right? He would have been told, and then he goes and gets it for bloody diving in the last minute. Where are we at? 25 past 10. Guys, what are we doing with Harland? I'm still so confused with him. I just don't know what to do. Yeah, don't just yeet to the ground, bud. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. I can't believe he did it still. What an absolute troll. I'm so confused about what to do. I'm hoping within the next 20 minutes we get something. I really am. SJ, you're going to go KDB. I don't think he's a bad option at all. I think, he's a premium. He's against Leicester. Okay, they've been a little bit better defensively of recent, but they haven't played City. You would say it ended up a blessing for me. I don't know how to look at it, to be honest. I'm not so sure about that. I think, was it against Leeds that he missed? I would have liked to have had him against Leeds. Doctor, I'm only keeping Ramsdale for Arsenal by next game week. I'm taking a massive gamble. I see Arsenal that will crumble attacking wise. Got to take a lot of risks. Mate, I mean, that's the thing. When I first played the game, I don't know how many seasons you've played for, Doctor, but I will say that I've become a lot more risk averse over the years. Like, I find it very, very difficult to even justify the -4s these days, let alone -8s or risky captaincy choices. I just think it's so hard to get right. It really is, mate. But I understand it. It's a lot more exciting. I will give you that. So, okay, I reckon that week's large green arrow was partly because of a lot of unexpected scrambling from that Maddison band. Probably. It probably did do me a favour in that sense, yes. You are probably right on that. But I would say that I'd planned for the blank, right? So all of my moves up till game week 14 were kind of, strategic. So from game week 9 to game week 14, game week 12, I'd made sure that the blank was covered. Whereas I think a lot of people had to use the free hit and do something, right? And if the free hit didn't pay off for some people in terms of points gained, right? But I still think we can make 500k by the World Cup. I think that's possible. Pass Perisic to Gabriel, or should I roll and start Gahey? Well, Perisic, I think it goes back to the beginning of the season. I did mention that he was always going to be a minute's risk, right? It's just I've never owned him, and I can see the pain of managers that have, but I can also see the joy of him. I just think it's time to move him on now. I do like the Gabriel move. You've just got to bear in mind that they're playing Chelsea next week. Potentially that's if you've got someone to start instead of him, maybe that's okay. Gay against Southampton, though, is not exactly a difficult fixture, in my opinion. It is at home. So I think that question really is about what are you doing in the next few weeks, right? You've got to look past this week in isolation, in my opinion. Dylan, thoughts on bringing in Rashford for Trossard? I like it. He was on my watch list, mate. I think West Ham's going to be a little bit trickier than people maybe give them credit for. I think they've got a little bit better and improved since the beginning of the season. I just like United's fixtures over the next 3, so I think he's going to be one that hauls at some point. Doctor, you've only taken a minus once this season. Okay, so you're not as risky as maybe you think then. There's a lot of people out there, bud, that take minuses every single week, so maybe it's okay. Tanoki, blessing in the relative sense. Yeah. Is Gabriel injured then? Okay, interesting. If he's injured, then I definitely would avoid that. Definitely would avoid any injury moves, guys, of course. To be honest, I don't even know why I'm looking on Twitter. There's so many people that are trolling based on Harland. It's hard to know the truth. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I think if I don't get any solid news, there's every potential that I do just end up catching him anyway. Just put the vice on Salah. Andreas as the first bench option covers him if he doesn't play anyway. Mateusz or now Bazunu to Ramsdale and you have Ward. Oh, I don't know, mate. Goalkeeper transfer. Ahead of these fixtures, I don't know, mate. Let's have a look at Leicester's fixtures quickly, actually. Everton and West Ham in 15 and 16. I don't know, mate. I mean, you're going to play Ward in 15 probably, right? Because if you bring in Ramsdale, you're probably not going to play him against Chelsea. And then in 16, you would probably play Ramsdale against Wolves. I don't know. I just think it's a really passive move. The ceiling for goalkeepers is just too low, right? That's why I just don't think you need to prioritise a goalkeeper transfer. Like 3 weeks ahead of the World Cup, this is what I'm saying. I think midfielder and striker transfers are probably going to be preferred. If you have to make a defensive move, then sure, do it. But this is the thing. I actually fancy Webster to get a clean sheet. I really do. I'm not convinced with Chelsea's attack, to be honest. Abdullah, I don't know if Harland is starting. Your guess is as good as mine. I've been literally scouring over Twitter, but I just don't know. I don't know what to believe, to be honest. I think if I can't make a decision and I'm not happy with it, then I'm just going to keep the armband on him and then just hope my vice captain kicks in if he doesn't play at all. And Andreas as a first bench option is good cover. I just don't feel like I can go without him in the team regardless of his Dorito. Just see the tweet that's basically they've quoted themselves. FPL Tips Zone. Shout out to you, mate. Erling Harland starts for City against Leicester this afternoon on the bench. And then he's tweeted it with quoting himself. Crazy. Crazy. Tanoki, if only Villa wasn't against Brighton away on game week 16, I would consider saving 2 free transfers and going Bailey and Son on a 1 week punt. Very interesting moves. I like it though. I like the 1 week punts. And this is another thing as well, by the way, that, you know, rolling this week, it does give me the option potentially to only go 1 transfer in 15. And then if I want, I can really attack 16 with 2 free ones. So that's also a possibility as well. But I like those moves, mate, for sure. So someone's just tweeted that is a very good point. Remember that last time when people thought that Harland would be benched and captain someone else, he went and got a hat-trick. So Tanoki, you're probably not wrong, mate. Maybe this is another hat-trick coming. Kelson, why should I captain Harland? He will come last 20 minutes. Maybe. This is the thing. It's Pep Guardiola, right? He just keeps his cards so close to his chest. It's just going to be very, very difficult. Of course, we might get some leaked news. We're still, 25 minutes away from deadline. So I'd say just don't panic. Just give it another 20 minutes. And let's see if we can get any solid news from anybody. I guess the concern for me about it is the fact that Alvarez is he's a pretty good player to cover for Harland, in my opinion. That's the problem. And like I mentioned in my watch list video, Foden can play as a false number 9 as well anyway. In terms of really attacking game week 16, you have a route if funds are not a problem. Good stuff, mate. I think 16 is the punt week, right? It has to be. Abdullah, according to FPL Raptor, Harland is not travelling. Interesting. Foden will likely be benched. Well, I mean, if it happens again, I'm going to be a little bit frustrated with that. He has played a lot of minutes in the midweek fixture, so it wouldn't surprise me. But I think if Harland's not travelling, I think he starts. But again, this is I have no sources, bud. This is just, I've played the game for a while, I suppose, or I've seen enough things before to warrant that I think he probably does get a start this week. But if Harland's not travelled, let me search for Raptor. Let me see. Has he tweeted it or is he just talking about it on YouTube? More updates at 10:45. Well, time will tell. Eze Son might be the move. Palace against Forest and Son against Leeds. Very, very good. And that's why Zaha's like a bit of a kind of dilemma for me now. Is that I've held him on since I've had him since the wild card, and I feel like I might as well hold him all the way through to 16. One of the reasons is that Forest fixture. Abdullah mentioned it on his live stream. Okay. Mateusz, Andreas or Shaw first on the bench. If you're not going to start either of them, I'd probably have Andreas as the first bench and Shaw as the second. Yeah, game week 16, yeah, understood. I'm just putting Raptor on now, just to have a look. So he's got the armband on Salah then, I see. So, okay, fair enough. Maybe he's pretty confident that he's not going anywhere. His chat's insane. Like, I don't know how these streamers keep up with this stuff. It's absolutely mad. Like, seeing how many people was just scrolling past when I watch them, it's absolutely madness. Who knows? Maybe it'll be me one day, but... So next question, start Anderson versus Southampton or Shaw versus West Ham? From a clean sheet point of view, I start Anderson. From an attacking point of view, I start Shaw. So I think you go Anderson, personally. Raptor is confirmed from sources. Okay, I mean, I would like to know where those sources are, but... So many people are tweeting. It's so difficult to get reliability. Erling Harland not included in the squad, apparently. It has started to come through. Tanoki, it was Nico last week. Time for a new legend to be born. Meslier, 15 saves. Can you imagine? I don't think you can get it 2 weeks in a row, bud. Welcome to the league, Doctor. Welcome to the league, mate. I don't know what the rules are for. I need to check with FPL. I'd love to do like some prize draws and other bits and pieces for the mini league. I just don't know if I'm allowed to do that because they've got their own prizes, right? Abdullah, should I captain Kane or Son? What are your thoughts? I'd go Kane between the two, mate. He's on penalties and he's been consistent. He hasn't blanked for a long time, really, has he? He only blanked against United. Dylan, Andreas or Gay is first line on the bench. You're going to have to put Andreas there, mate, I think. I do like Gay's fixture, though. Southampton at home, it's good, but I just think Andreas is the first bench. What's my league code? If you have a look on this side, HYN6Q9. It's just up there now. The animation scrolls between follow and the mini league. Okay. What are we doing then? Are we doing this? Are we doing this? Middle left, yeah. My finger pointing was awful. I still can't get used to the opposites of the camera. It's a bit strange. No worries, mate. Welcome. I think that the tweets are coming thick and fast now, to be honest, guys, with this news. I'm just, yeah, I'm not sure. If he hasn't travelled, then I'm not sure I can risk captaining him. I'll have him in the team, just in case it's wrong. But Andreas' first bench option, I think, is great anyway. Palace at home are a different beast. They are. I do agree that they are much better at home than they are away. 100%. But I just think that Andreas at the moment, he's just on fire. It's like the muscular dog and whimpering dog meme. Yeah, indeed. Some people are saying with the news that Foden won't be starting, they've gone with Foden to Rashford. Yeah, I don't think I think Foden's going to be all right. I still think he gets the nod. People captaining Almiron, brave. Devin, would you rather keep Trossard or Maddison for the next 2 game weeks? Trossard, I think, mate. I think I keep Trossard. What's Leicester's? They got Everton next week. Everton away. It's not an easy fixture. Whereas Brighton, I think, are they at home again? No, they're at Wolves away. Trossard for sure, mate. Trossard. Doctor, my dream is Harland gets benched and comes on for 10 mins. Yeah, I mean, for anyone who's captaining him, see, the thing is there are going to be a lot of set and forget teams, right? So rank could be massive in terms of this week, because if he doesn't play at all, or if he does play 10 minutes and people captain him and he's got 1 point, that could be huge. No worries, Devin, mate. Ando, would Foden be a good captain? I don't think so. I think there is still that risk element of him potentially missing certain minutes this week. So I think he's down the chain for me. I think you have to go either Kane, Salah, or an Arsenal asset, mate. I really do. The thing is, this week's not so much of a drama. That in reality, the captaincy choice is not that bad. We have got options. I mean, I could even see, like someone, I think Doctor mentioned Trippier. Maybe that's a bit too brave, but a defender captain, I can see it this week. I can see people have mentioned Trent. People, have probably captained Cancelo before and would do it again. I can see benefits to a lot of different choices, but I just think for me, I'm going to have to back Mo. He scored a lot of penalties against Leeds, though. That's the only thing I'll say, that he doesn't necessarily score that many from open play. But as Tanoki said, it's going to be a new hero that's born this week for him. Meslier with a 15 saves, including a penalty save, yeah? I think a lot of people are convinced that Harland's going to be benched at least, or not even travelling, so... Pep not playing all 3 of Harland, Foden, Cancelo to drag out James Justin from the bench. Mate, don't. It's just, I can actually see that happening. Cancelo subbed, didn't he? For at half time, didn't he? He got subbed because he was ill. What if I don't have any of them? Tony is a captaincy choice. What's your team looking like, mate? Just hit me with like the kind of the full team so I can have a look, because I'm not sure about Tony. At Wolves at home, I don't think it's a bad fixture. Doctor, everyone panicking. I love it. I mean, the thing is, it does make FPL more fun. I agree. The captaincy choices, they matter in the whole of in the grand scheme of things. They do. But I agree. I like the little bit of chaos. But just for me personally, the reason why I've got Salah in there, it could have been Kane. Kane would have been the better option for sure. The armband would have probably been on Kane. You just put it onto your next premium. I don't really see that much of a problem in it. Hello, welcome from Indonesia. What time frame are we at over there? Is it a late one for you guys? What's the difference? You would Saka and Martinelli over Tony as captain. Yeah, I agree. I think Arsenal assets are probably going to be a better captaincy choice. Guys, once again as well, second plug of the day. Hit that button. Hit that button. We're 15 minutes away from deadline. I want to try and reach 500 subs by the World Cup. That'd be absolutely perfect. Of course, there'll be a little bit of a drought in content in terms of videos, right? There's only so many, I guess, draft videos that I can make during that break. So the community tab will just help me keep in touch with you guys. And that's the aim, really. Breaking Cancelo gets stung by a bee and can't play. Do you know what? It's just, I feel like it is one of them weeks, though, for Twitter. I'm not going to lie. There just seems to be so many trolls out on the loose. Just over 10 minutes, guys. I'd start thinking about making sure your teams are all set. Bench options. Captaincy maybe can wait a little bit longer if you want. Nazir, if you has to go captain Foden or Tony, who are you going to go for? I mean, I don't like either of those options, to be honest. But if you're going to... If it has to be one of those two, I'd go Ivan Toney because he's on penalties, and I just think that he has more consistency for points than Foden in terms of, let's say, minutes, and just in general, I just think he would make a better captain. Paraguay draft Almiron for the army. My thoughts are Kane, Trippier, captain, vice-captain. I don't think that's bad. I think, like I mentioned, I would go probably Kane, captain, if I had him over Salah. It's just because Salah's in my team, I'm going to recommend him as the kind of choice for this scenario, right? So for me, I do think that even De Bruyne has to be put into the mix. So if you've got one of De Bruyne, Salah or Kane, you captain one of those. If you've then got Arsenal assets, maybe Jesus comes second for me. Potentially then Saka, then Martinelli, just because Saka probably is on the penalties, so I think that leans me slightly towards him. And then I think if you have to go someone else, then the likes of Trippier or Cancelo, maybe even Tony, they can all be put into that kind of final bracket. So I don't hate it. Nazir, because I genuinely don't think Harland will play and I don't want a sub appearance. Well, if you don't want the sub appearance, I would say just commit the captaincy to the best asset you have in your team. It doesn't necessarily need to be the most expensive, but I would say that you should, more than likely in your structure, own one of Salah, Kane or Harland, no? I mean, Harland can't be just the one premium in your team. Maybe you've got a different squad structure to most, but I think if you've got another premium, that's who you back. Abdullah, breaking news, Harland and Foden are bench. Source FPL Raptor. Well, I mean, that's going to be absolutely terrible for me if Foden's benched. What a rubbish move that would be for me if he's benched. Horrendous. I mean, Andreas' first bench option though, like I'm okay with that fact. But then of course I'll have Nico come on against Arsenal. It's just, I don't know. This could be a bit of a disaster week, but hey ho. Robbo, I really need help. I have one free transfer and have Paqueta on the bench, but I need to replace him because Harland may not have 6 mil. Already got Almiron. Who would be good? Cheers. Paqueta on the bench, but need to replace him. Okay, let's have a think. What's how much does Paqueta cost? Is he like 6, 5 or something like that? Okay. 5.9. I mean, I would probably go for just that mid-priced midfielder, maybe someone like Rashford. Almiron might be a good shout. Oh, you've already got him. Okay. I do like Zaha still. I mean, bringing him ahead of Southampton at home, I don't think is a bad move. West Ham away is a little bit trickier, but then you get the Forest fixture in 16, so potentially Zaha. Eze maybe is another good option to replace if you want to keep a little bit of money. Yeah, no guarantee plays indeed. ZemXX, Shaw a good option. I do like him. Yes, I do like Shaw. I think he gets the nod ahead of Malacia for starts. Sebastian, so is Harland playing today? I don't think so, mate. I really don't think so. I've just looked through Twitter, to be honest, and just so many people and a few other viewers here that watching Raptor as well have said that I don't think he's going to be starting. Alvarez is starting. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust that Alvarez is starting. So 6 mil sounds like Trossard, not many option. Eze is a differential. Yeah, agreed with Trossard as well. FPL Andy 2, both benched. Man, this is just such a killer. Such a killer. Yeah, Foden and Harland apparently not starting. Man, I'm trying really hard not to swear right now. I can't. The move that I made to Foden, I was convinced that this man was not going to suffer from pet roulette, and then look what happens. He goes and gets 28 minutes here. Look at these minutes. All right, he got 57 against Southampton, but look, it's just, I don't know. I feel like if you want a midfielder from City, that was the most convincing that you could get. And he's risen in price as well. Mad. How about Martinelli? Another good option as well. Yes, Martinelli, of course, missed him out. Is Eze the best to go for? I think he's a great differential option for sure. I think his set pieces and his play for Palace at the moment has been really, really positive. And it's at home, right? He's looked really, really good at home. Doctor, just because of this, I love FPL so much. Yeah, that last minute chaos, man. It just, you can't really, it doesn't get old, does it really? Hi, Kobe. Welcome to the stream, bud. Hello, mate. Would you take a last minute -4 to do Foden to Almiron? I think I am potentially looking at Foden out now, but who do I bring in? Do I bring in Rashford? Do I bring in Martinelli? I mean, what can we do here? What could we do? Let me just go on to... where are we? Game week 14. Man, Foden, why you do this to me? Pep. So if I went Rashford this week, I could still go to Calvert-Lewin, I think, from Mitrovic next week. This could be the move. Could be the move. I think yes, sorry, Kobe, to answer your question, sorry, I was just looking at my own team. I do think -4 is a possibility. Yes. Can't wait for Harland to score a hat-trick off the bench. Please, man, please. Iwobi, nah, I don't like it. Funny Luke, should I captain Firmino or Mitrovic? I mean, they're just like, what choices are these, bud? What choices are these? Who else have you got? Do a doctor bring Welbeck in, stick him in the captain until the end of the season, you'll be fine. Mate, I know you're risky, but you ain't that risky, surely. Sebastian, my captain is still going to be Harland. Good luck, my friend. Good luck. I can't do it. I personally can't do it. I mean, what are we doing here, guys? Are we doing it like this? Are we just playing Andreas ahead of Foden? Or am I taking Foden out? Because the problem is that if Harland doesn't play at all, then this happens, right? If that happens, then I need to take Foden out, essentially, because I don't want Nico Williams in. So I think... Oh, my God. Is this the move? Is this the move? Do I finally get a United asset in? Do I do it? Do I do it, guys? You have Martinelli, you have Maddison. Who should you captain? Oh, mate. I mean, it's just... Have you got no other premium assets? No De Bruyne, no Kane, no Salah? No, I won't take Harland out. I'm going to keep him as the starting 11. I think I like Andreas as an automatic sub if he doesn't come on. You're hitting Foden to Zaha, play Andreas for Harland. Yeah, I think you just... I'm not sure. I think you keep Harland in the team. Rashford will have a stinker version. Well, of course you're going to say that. You're a West Ham fan. So that's obvious. Oh, he's going to score at least one goal. Funny you don't have any of them. I think, to be honest, you've got to go with an Arsenal asset then. So if you've got Martinelli, if you've got Saka, I think you captain one of them. You've got to go with an Arsenal asset, bud. I just think against Forest, I know they did well against Liverpool, but I think you've got to. It's Arsenal at home. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to put Rashford in. The thing is, he was going to be one of the transfers anyway for me. It wasn't meant to be for Foden. But now, I mean, what a rubbish transfer that is for me. 3 minutes, guys. Oh, my God. I took a -4 to bring this man in, and now he's going to be benched again. I think Firmino's okay, but what about his minutes? If Nunez is back, that's my risk, or that's my advice to you, is that I feel like he's a bit of a risk in terms of minutes, no? Tanoki, not if Nico shuts out Saka and Martinelli. Please, the variance. It's got to happen. I think Arsenal are going to do the business against Forest. I really do. I think it's a different beast. I think I'll leave it, guys. Oh. Everything's crashing. It's crashed. Well, there goes the... Mate, the panic. The panic. Oh, crap. Dead. FPL is dead. Look at what happens, man. This is crazy. Just when Harland... I'm pretty much stuck with my team, I think, now. I'm just glad that I put the armband on Salah, to be honest. Oh, my God. 1 minute to deadline and it's just gone. Everything's gone. It's dead, guys. Let me know if you can do anything on the app as well. I mean, questions wise, guys. Look, I mean, this is what the phone screen looks like. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. It's too bright. It's literally just. It is literally just. Nah, it's still so bright. It's done. I think it's done, guys. I think we're locked in. What a shocker! What a shocking end. Oh my God! And we're locked in, guys. Can you believe it? What a way to end. What a way to end as well. Good luck with the captaincies, guys. Sorry I couldn't get every question in or every answer in before that crash, but that's the thing, guys. You just got to make sure that things are done early. Kane captain. Good luck, my friend. If you quickly Twitter DM, I think you can make it by the deadline. Finished. There we go, guys. Right, Captain Salah. Good luck, everyone. I mean, I think this is going to be a bit of a chaotic week. Now that I know that Foden's potentially benched, I think rolling was still the right thing to do. I mean, I've got Andreas against Everton to come on if Foden doesn't play any minutes. If Harland hasn't travelled, I've also got Andreas to come on. It could be another disaster week, guys, but I'm just going to attack 15 and 16. I'm still happy with rolling, I think. The stress this game causes some people, man, it's crazy, really. Absolutely madness. Harland is going to play. Yeah, I think he might do. And the simple fact is that if he does come on even for 30 minutes, I think he could still do some damage to Leicester. So let's see. Let's see. Anyway, guys, once again, where are we at now with 423 subs, guys? Thank you so much for the support. Like, it's another, 10 subs, 15 subs that we've added to the list today. Absolutely phenomenal. Hit that button, guys, if you're new. Hit it. Trying to reach that 500 mark. Hopefully, I've helped you out. I'm sorry if any of my advice turned sour, but just genuinely, it's been a bit of a chaotic week. Well, Tanoki, I'm already there, mate. I lost my hair at like 21, bud. So, yeah. I didn't make the transfer, Doctor. No, mate. It was up in the air anyway. I wasn't convinced. So, I've still got Foden in the team. I've got Foden, I've got Harland, I've got Andreas against Everton as the first bench option, which I'm pretty comfortable with. I could have started him, but, I mean, maybe he just saves the game week by coming on as an auto sub. You tried to do Perisic to Shaw and the app crashed for me. Oh my God, mate, that's just so salty. That's what I mean. To be honest, it's one of them things with transfers. Like, we try to make them maybe 10 minutes before. This has happened before. Page subscribed. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciated. Doctor, I'm glad Rashford will blank. I mean, there's very, very big potential that he can. I mean, West Ham, like I've said, have always been a bit of a tricky team for us. So I don't necessarily see him hauling, but it was my plan to bring him for 15. That's why I was going to go with him. It wasn't necessarily just for West Ham. Wow. What a stream, what a predicament, eh? So many people. Headaches for this game week. Yeah, I agree, Tanoki. I agree. I think the last minute changes, this is what FPL, you've got to love it for it, but I'm just so against it. I've done this before to myself where I've done it in the last 10 minutes. I've made a transfer out and it just doesn't work out. You've got to remember, for me personally as well, guys, I took a -4 for Foden last week. So I really didn't want to take him out. Sebastian, you found my YouTube channel today and you like it. Well, welcome to the channel, bud. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I try to improve every day. Just try and add that little bit extra that I can onto the channel. I've got a new intro, new outro on the videos now. I've created that this week. Yeah, been busy. Trying to keep on improving for you guys. Thank you for the subscription, bud. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I try to stream every deadline as well. World Cup, like I say, is probably going to be maybe a little bit of a content drought. I'll still put some out there for, different players to consider, updates based on kind of injury news and stuff like that across the World Cup. But yeah, that's why I really want to get that 500 mark, to be honest. It's just having that community tab for the channel, I think, will just help me keep in touch with people as well, which is always good. FPL Boo-Boo, Harland on my first bench by accident, played Andreas. Mate, what a situation to be in. Andreas ahead of Harland. This is the game week 14 chaos, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, listen, you can't predict that, right? You can't predict that the app is going to crash 2 minutes before the deadline. Good luck with Andreas, though, mate. He's my first bench option, so I think he's probably going to come into play, so good luck. Good luck. I feel like FPL Boo Boo is probably the most convenient name for Game Week 14 as well. Ian Evans, I too have subscribed and enjoyed the content. Last minute Foden to Bernardo -4. Very bold indeed, mate. But I think Bernardo probably does get the minutes, right? He didn't play at all, did he, in midweek? And thank you for subscribing, Ian. Welcome to the channel, mate. Glad to have you on board. FPL Boo Boo. Oh my god. Mate. I think I'm going to subscribe to you, mate, just for that name. Sebastian, yes, mate, I have a league. There's an animation on the side there. After the follow button, it goes to a mini league. So HYN6Q9 is the mini league code. So feel free to join that when the game's back up and running. Yes, Tanoki. Pet roulette. Mate, I can't. If Foden doesn't start, man, it's so annoying. It's so annoying to have jumped on the bandwagon of him way too late. I feel like it's the worst move I've made this season. That's if he doesn't start anyway. I'm going to be really disappointed. The real FPL Boo Boo is all the subscribers you earned along the way. Yes, indeed. Perfect, Sebastian, mate. Welcome. Welcome to the league. There's probably a lot of people that are, like I say, way better at FPL than me that haven't gone into the league yet. So I feel like I'm about, 8th, 10th or something in my own league. But yeah, we're not the highest scoring of mini leagues, to be honest. But yeah, I've played this game now for about, I think, 5 seasons. The first 2 or 3 were pretty casual, though. I never really took it that serious. It was just an extra bit of fun for watching the games. And then I started watching content. Once I started watching content on YouTube, I started taking it a bit more seriously. So I can't obviously show you my ranks here on screen, but if you look at my channel in terms of the About page, you'll see what ranks I made. I'm aiming for a 100k finish again this season, so hopefully I can help you get there as well. Yeah, like I say, few bits of content each week and then a live stream on every deadline, so welcome to the channel. Where is Harland today? Well, for a lot of people, I think he's just been kept in the team, but some people have moved the armband off him. I personally think he travels. I think it'll be very unlikely that he doesn't get any minutes whatsoever. I'm going to be honest. I just think that I couldn't justify the armband on him with all the news that was going on. I just think that I had to take it off him. So I think it was a foot injury, mate, from the Dortmund game, and he had a bit of sickness as well. Oh dear, what a madness. What a madness. $428 subs, guys. Thank you so much. Like, it's just another successful stream. I absolutely love it. I really do. I absolutely love making the content for you guys. Sebastian, you don't know why, but you can't join my league. Is that because the game's down? I don't think you can do it while it's updating, mate. Was he in your squad? Okay, well, I don't think that he's going to be... he's in mine as well. He's in my starting 11. So even though he's flagged, I do still think he gets minutes. I just think it's limited. I just think it's going to be limited. But yeah, Sebastian, if you try when the game comes back up, it takes a lot longer now. I feel like there's so many players in the game that the server needs at least an hour to join. Paige, if you use the use the code that's on the screen in the middle left hand side. Or I think, have I got? Let me have a look in my. Is there something in my description of this particular video? I can't remember. I'm almost certain I've got a hyperlink for you to join it. You're predicting 6-0 to City. Very, very big scoreline indeed, mate. I can see that happening. I think Leicester, I know they've kept clean sheets recently, but I think, again, City are a different beast. So I definitely can see over 5 goals. I'll have to wait until the game comes back up and running to show you guys on how to join. But I think once the game's back up and running, you can either click the hyperlink. I think if you go to the leagues tab on the website or on the app, there should be like a join league button. And essentially you just put in the code that's on the left-hand side of this screen, HYN6Q9, and it automatically joins you for the following week. Sebastian, you think Harland's going to get 2? Ian, armband on Kane, vice Saka. I have Harland starting, current rank 94k. Good luck, Ian, mate. Good luck. Strong rank. I think Kane captain is a great choice. I mentioned it before, obviously, the deadline's hit now. I think between him, Salah and De Bruyne are probably going to be the 3 options that you choose over Harland, right? I don't necessarily have a preferred order. I just think that if most teams have Harland plus 1 premium. So whoever that second premium is, that's who we should have captained, I think. It's going to be an interesting week, though, because the captaincy is going to be so varied now. With the news of any engaged manager that's obviously part of the game really is going to have taken the armband, I think, more than likely off of Harland. There probably is a few people that have still kept him with it, but yeah, I'm not convinced that he gets enough minutes to warrant the captaincy. We'll soon find out, though, guys, because literally, let's have a look at, because it's the early kickoff, we should get some team news in about the next 20 minutes for Harland, to be honest. Usually that's the case, about an hour before kickoff. Sebastian, you started playing FPL in Gameweek 6, not even in the top 3 million. Well, I mean, just there's always next season. If this is your first season, then yeah, welcome to the game, mate. There's many more headaches like this that happen, believe me. It's a fun game, though. It's a fun game. Tanoki, I think the viewership goes up after the deadline. Big streamers stopping probably. Yeah, a lot of the time, because I stay on for that extra sort of 20 minutes, 30 minutes, usually a lot of people ship over. I've been raided a couple of times by Focal as well. So I don't know. I just like sort of talking, I guess, after the deadline. It's a little bit less headache on the question time, right? It's just literally people listening and I guess still talking about FPL, but... ...15 minutes before lineups, yeah. Literally, I'm just looking at. I use Flash Scores as the app to check things. So literally, I think they usually release them about 11:30. I'm going to stay on till I think past, at least until I get team news, just to react to it, because I think it's going to be funny if both Harland and Foden start. You play FBL, do the same thing as Premier League, but it's Bundesliga. Interesting. I don't follow much European football, to be honest. So in terms of, of course, Champions League and Europa I do, but I would be absolutely useless at that. So if you make some content, mate, maybe I'll pick that game up. Start playing that too. Ian, if Harland gets minutes and scores and isn't captain, you still get half of his captain points. Yeah, true. If you look at it that way. I mean, it's so hilarious that we have to say half of his captain points. Every other player in the game, you just say you get his points. But you have to say half of his captain points because it's Harland. I'm still confident in the fact that I've got him in my starting 11. It's not really an issue for me. I still think that, the captaincy and moving it away from him was the right decision. You started with Alvarez. Interesting. I mean, what a differential he is. He could do some damage, though, against Leicester, to be honest. So I do like him as a pick. It's just long-term, he doesn't make sense. So Harland and Foden are benched. Is that 100%, mate? Have you got news of that? Well, not news, but have you got the official lineups? Cancelo is a doubt. Yeah, we knew that Cancelo was a doubt based on his illness, right, in midweek. I can't believe, Tanoki, mate, you actually called it as well. You said if he benches all three of them, like, I'm going to have Andreas, James Justin and Nico Williams come on for me. 100% confirmed. Oh, my God. Well, I mean, good luck for anyone who's put the armband on Harland then, because, yeah, I just think if he's benched, does he even get a cameo appearance? I just don't know. Gandhi paid Pep a visit last night. Never back the early kickoff, yeah? Never give up. Looking forward to this game week now as many struggle to confirm transfers and captaincy. Indeed. Indeed. It's going to be a strange one, this one. I think so many people were trying to do something last minute, right? That's why the servers have crashed. Pep can give us surprises. Well, you can't say it's 100% confirmed and then say he's going to surprise us. I'm going to wait until Flash Scores confirms it and then I'll react on here with it because, yeah, we're about, I would say, 10 minutes maximum before we start getting proper team news. Who do I think will win the Premier League? I do still think City will win it. I think we have got to take Arsenal seriously, but I think post-World Cup their fixtures are a little bit trickier. So we'll probably see City open up maybe a little bit of a gap post-World Cup. I mean, we've debated this on the channel before. Tanoki will know because he was here when I was saying it, but I think City might even win the treble this season. If Harland stays fit all season, they're a different beast with him. They really are. Like, he is an absolute monster. Abdullah, why do you have no Spurs players? I mean, I could have gone Kane. So essentially, the transfers I made to bring Salah in that week, I could have put Kane in instead. I'm just not sure with them as an overall team. I do like them, but they just seem to bottle it against the bigger, let's say, fixtures. They just don't seem to be hitting. So I actually want Kane long term. I think I'm probably going to restructure the team after the World Cup. As long as Kane stays fit, I'll probably have him in my team. Tanoki, I feel like Civilization Nuclear Gandhi meme can be brought into FPL and it will make it happen. I will make it happen. Never give up. Foden first on the bench. Kind of funny view. Yeah, I mean, you've got, the thing is with these game weeks, you have got to just, just laugh it off in some ways, right? Just hope for the best. Sometimes it works out better anyway. Like whoever you've got as kind of bench cover or options, sometimes they can bring you more joy than if you were to start the players you had. It is the fun part of playing FPL. It is boring. Like when I'm as a content creator as well, right? Like it's very difficult for me to sit here and try and justify any differential picks, captaincy choices away from Harland at the moment, right? Because he's just such a formidable player. So the more mix-up that we get, the better it is long-term, realistically. Louis, is Harland benched? Yes, I think so. I think he's benched. We haven't had it confirmed yet. I'm waiting about 10 more minutes for the team news. Abdullah, what rank will you be happy after this season? I'm hoping a top 100k, mate. I would be very happy with 100k finish again. I really want to break into the top 50k, but the thing is that creating content this season has definitely helped my decision making already, which is what I wanted to do. I want to get better at the game. Excuse me. So I just think that, yeah, top 100k would be good. I've got there before and I'd like to do it again. But top 50k is really where I want to be. Yeah, you can message me on Instagram, mate. No problem. All good. countdown begins for this team news. Still nothing by the looks of it. Man United. Pretty sure taking hits this game week won't pay off. Too many hasty decisions in the last minutes. Yeah, potentially. There's been a few people that have just maybe made those last 5-minute gasping changes and they've not thought them through, apparently. No Harland in the squad. Damn, Andreas is coming in hot. The thing is, who's the vice captaincies, though, for people that captain Harland? That's the other thing, right? Waiting for confirmation of Harland's benches. Waiting for Liz Truss to resign, yeah. I think if Foden's benched, though, he brings him on. I genuinely think that he brings him on. So I'm kind of glad now that I didn't transfer him out, because then Andreas comes on for Harland. I get some minutes maybe from Foden with a possible return, and we can just go into game week 15 with 2 transfers. Yeah, Abdullah, we know. Like, I was refreshing it like mad. I almost made the Foden to Rashford move. Right, I'm not gonna lie. I was literally seconds away from putting it in, and then when I went back to pick team tab rather than transfers, it didn't refresh. It just crashed. Foden hat-trick from bench. That'd be phenomenal. If that happens, I'll be so glad that the site crashed and stopped me from making that move. Andy making some last-minute change. He loves a last-minute change, that man. He absolutely loves it. You're not finding my account. If you just type in FPL link, it will. You should be able to find it. So leave the underscore, because FPL underscore link is Twitter, but Instagram is just FPL link. No news on Cancelo. Yeah, I'm just going to wait for the lineups, I think, now. No Harland in the squad today. Foden and Mahrez bench. Front three of Bernardo, Alvarez and Grealish by the looks of things. Grealish, man, I understand he's the £100 million man, but he's not done anything to oh my God. I just don't see how he gets starts. Like, I want him to do well because of the World Cup, right? He's an English player. I want him to do well, but he just isn't doing it for City at the moment. The media's on his back as well, so I'm just not sure that he's in the right frame of mind. I just think Foden just brings that whole different level of energy, but who am I? I'm just another bald guy. I'm not Pep. Never give up. Both Focal and Andy had Harland vice captain. I suppose it doesn't matter too much if it was the vice captaincy. If they had him as the captain, though, then I guess there would be some question marks over it. But hopefully Cancelo plays, doesn't drag out Nico for both of us. My God, can you imagine? But then again, Nico the hero last week for you against Liverpool. You have Diaz, so you'll be happy if Cancelo is benched. Well, it's going to be a really horrendous week for most teams, I think. Because I think they're probably the most highly owned assets, right? Harland and Cancelo. From a City perspective. Still no team news, guys. 5 more minutes, hopefully. Yeah, I've seen your request for the message, bud. All good, all good. minutes until we get some squad news. I mean, Flash Scores has got Harland as questionable anyway. Cancelo, I think he probably plays. Salah captain. Good luck, mate. Same as me. Same as me. Oh, Tanoki, my man. The Pokemon reference is coming out now. You're taking me back. You're taking me back. Well, I think there's going to be many people that think that, Abdullah. I think many people are going to say, we hope that Salah blanks, right? They're just, I don't know. I think midweek, it's just, he's surely on heat now. He's had a couple of returns in midweek. It's Leeds. Like, come on, he's got to be doing it. Exciting deadline over now, onto the suffering, yeah. I hope not. I think, to be honest, this is going to be for all the engaged managers, right? So everybody that's watching now, I can imagine is probably going to be, considered an engaged manager. If you're watching content and you're engaged, then I think that this week might be okay for us. It's just any last minute changes. That's the difficulty, right? If that caught a few people out, then maybe that's where the pain is. But I think this week could be painful, but let's see. Oh, you got Kane as well, Syed. Nice. So have you got the freemium then? Have you got Harland, Salah and Kane? I have Salah as captain, yeah. I put the vice captaincy on Saka. I don't think Salah misses out though, but that's how I went with it in the end. I got that changed, luckily, before everything crashed. Yeah, I've got a good feeling about him as well. I think he might do some damage. It is worth noting though, in the last fixtures that he's played against Leeds, I think he scored 5 goals total. 3 of those goals are penalties. So we'll see what he can do. I'm hoping that this is the first double-digit haul that I sort of, get back from Salah, to be honest. It'd be really, really good for ranked, I think. If he can outscore Kane by at least, say, like 5 or 6 points, maybe even 8 points, that would be, I think, really, really good for the rank. Okay, Abdullah, you have Harland, Kane, Son. So both of you and Saeed have got free premiums. Interesting. I'd like to see the whole squad structure, because for me, free premiums was just too difficult to get to at any given point, just because of how much money I've got in the midfield. Double Spurs, yeah. I really wanted a Spurs wing back for a while, to be honest. I mean, I've always been in the market for one of them, to be honest, but just, I'm going to be honest with the rotation, and we already knew that Conte had already said that with this amount of fixture congestion that there was going to be rotation. That kind of really put me off of bringing any of them in. Triple Newcastle, fingers crossed. Damn. Well, I mean, Villa technically are managerless in some ways, right? I don't think that Emery manages this game, so we'll see what Newcastle can do. I think the Spurs players, you're right, are punts. Yeah, I think predicting the lineups for Spurs is really, really difficult. It really is. Lineups are out. Let's have a look. I haven't been refreshing. Flash scores, where are we? Can't see it on Flash score. Let's have a look. Where else have we got? City versus Leicester. I'm still checking for lineups, mate. I can't see one yet. I've only got predicted lineups at the moment. No Harland in squad. Is that confirmed? Where'd you get it from, Doctor? And does Cancelo start? That's the other question. Oh my God, this week, man. Throw me a link, Doctor, please. I need to see this from my own eyes. Syed's team. Pope, Cancelo, Trippier, Saliba, Martinelli, Andreas, Bruno G, Salah captain, Harland up front with Kane and Mitro. I mean, that is a pretty solid team, mate, I must admit. That is a very, very solid team. But I can see where the differences are because I've got so much more money in midfield. Cancelo starts, perfect. Is Foden in the squad but bench then? So we've got no Harland in the squad. We've got Cancelo starting. Can't send links unless I get mod. All right. What's the source? What's the website? I will start modding a few people, I think, eventually, because there's a few regulars in the channel that, yeah, I think will be mod worthy for sure. Diaz is benched. Unlucky, mate. Unlucky. Ian's team, Pope, Trippier, Cancelo, Anderson, Saka, Zaha, Bernardo, Almiron, Kane, Mitro, Harland, first sub Andreas, and 3.5 in the bank. Very, very good squad as well, I think there, mate. Very good. Bernardo's interesting as a choice. I mean, if he does start as well this afternoon, then I think he could do some damage. I like Almiron as well, of course. Zaha, very good. I think you could do well here, Ian, to be honest. I think you could do well. Who did you captain in the end this week, mate? Harland isn't on the bench, yeah. So if he's not on the squad at all, then it's just, you know, your first bench options are going to come into play. That gives me then Andreas is a definite starter for me. At least he was right about Harland and Foden. Yeah, I mean, you called it, bud. You called it. Pep is the enemy of fantasy footy. You're telling me, mate, I took a -4 for Foden last week, and the man has scored me 1 point against the Brighton fixture, and now he's benched against Leicester. Like, you know, come on. It's literally troll to the next level. And the thing is, I even said in my watch list video yesterday, I put Foden as #1 as a transfer target again. So Pep's he's just ruining me. He's ruining my fantasy football YouTube career. What's he doing? Dat, you captain Kevin. Good luck, mate. Good luck. I think he's a solid choice. Sebastian Harland not even on the... Yeah, he's not in the squad. He's not in the squad. So there's the lineup. Edison, Stones, Akanji, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, KDB, Gundogan, Grealish, Alvarez, Bernardo. Crazy. I think Foden gets minutes. Though. So I'm glad I didn't I wasn't going to take a hit. I'm just glad I didn't transfer him out in a knee-jerk way because I brought him in last week for a -4. I just feel like that would have been such a waste. I think he can come on and still do something. Never give up. My biggest wish at the moment is Leicester get 1 goal. That's it. Then my game week is already fair. Not owning Cancelo. Yeah, good luck. I think Leicester, look, they're in a little bit more form, but I find it really difficult. It's an early kickoff, so anything can happen. But my eyes are going to be firmly on this game for sure. Syed, our man at his peak, put Salah in last week too, only for 2 points, kept him for this week. Look, I think that he's still a solid option. I really do. I mean, midweek, he seems to be doing it a lot more. That's the problem. In the European fixtures, he seems to just be smashing it versus, the Premier League. How can he go and get a goal and an assist against Ajax and then not score against Nottingham Forest? He just looked completely off it last weekend. Sebastian, you have Akanji and Cancelo. Wow. Double up on those City defenders. Yeah, I think you've done well to avoid the Foden hype, mate. I just got completely FOMO'd on that move. Completely FOMO'd. I just thought that if I don't get him in that week, it was going to do some serious damage to me. I really could see a brace minimum against Brighton if he started. There was just all these different things going through my head, and I just, yeah, like I say, I ended up taking a -4. So, rookie moves. Rookie moves. That's why I've got a 200k red arrow this week, but, well, for game week 13. But let's see. Maybe this is a time where he can come off the bench and do some damage. I really hope so. Thank you for joining, bud. Thank you for joining. Go fill up your fridge then. Go fill up your fridge. I've still got plenty of Budweisers in my garage, thankfully. I have got to go shopping, though, soon. I'm pretty certain my wife is getting ready with my daughter now, so I'm going to jump off soon. I'm going to stick on for another 5 minutes, probably, just to answer any other questions. We can keep talking about FPL. Ask me anything personally as well. I will reply to that Instagram message. Don't worry about that, bud, if you're still in the stream. Doctor, by the looks of it, Trippier might get benched. Oh, mate, don't even start. We can't be talking about the rest of the team getting benched. It's just too much. Side, I'm currently sat at 55k overall with 804 points, trying to finish in top 100k this year. I think at that point, mate, I don't know what chips you've used, but I think 804 at 55k at this stage is a pretty respectable rank. Like, it's going to be very difficult, I think, for you not to finish in the top 100k. You're just going to have to plan very, very well now to the end of the season. It's going to be, put it this way, like as Tanoki said, if you're already in that position, it's going to be harder probably to finish outside of the 100k than it is for me to get in it. Let's put it that way. So I think you're fine, mate. No chips at all. You haven't even used wildcard. My man. Do you not think that's going to be wasted a little bit, though? I mean, if your team doesn't need it, then it doesn't need it. I mean, to be honest, I actually haven't looked at the numbers, but I think some of the transfers I made out on my wild card definitely worked out worse than if I would have just kept my team and left it alone. Definitely. But then that's happened to me on so many occasions. Damn. No Harland. You planned on using the wildcard last game week just so it can be used. Oh, okay, fair enough. So game week 16, is that the last one that you can use it on? I don't know if you can still do it on 17. I don't think you can you? But yeah, there is 20, 30 points gap. You're right. There's a very, very small margin for error. But I still think that you'll probably be okay. If you're in the top 55k now, I think you'll be all right. You have only bench boost and triple captain left. But then don't forget, we get the reset. When I say chips, like I think most people have got bench boost and triple captain. Free hit as well. Did you use that on the blank game week then, Sebastian? Like free hits for me, like you'll probably, if this is your first season again, then you'll learn later on, or as you go through the season, there's a lot better ways of using wildcards and free hits to navigate double game weeks. But you'll have another wild card in January, Sebastian. So don't worry about that. Yeah, that's exactly my point, Sanoki. Like if a team is in a strong enough point where you don't need to wild card, then absolutely it makes sense not to have used it. It's kind of like a free hit for the game week 16 then, to be honest, Syed, because you get another reset for the World Cup. So I do actually like that strategy, and something that I never really considered, to be honest. Yeah, so Sebastian, I mean, not having the free hit might do a little bit of damage, but considering you started the game late anyway, I think it'll be very, very difficult to break into the top 100k, for example, in terms of rank for you this season. Starting from the beginning would have been a different story. But with free hits, I'll always recommend that just if for game week 12 specifically, it was difficult because it was only 2 teams blanking in City and Arsenal. So it didn't really make sense for me to kind of use the chip, or for anyone to use that chip, in my opinion. If you were fielding at least, say, 8 players, I think it was better to just field like the 8 or 9 players. So depending on your circumstances, but the free hit is always better, I think, for double game weeks. Syed, you made me save the triple captain for the double game weeks. Top shout. Thanks, mate. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Yes, I do remember that. I think, to be honest, it's just... With ranks, this is another point as well, right? From game week, let's say 34 to 38, this is where it gets really, really hot in terms of, like, you'll know really where you're going to finish. Because if you've still got 2 chips in the bag or like other things, you'll pretty much know that you're going to get green arrows, or you'd hope for at least. If you strategize enough, then those last few game weeks can prove absolutely pivotal with those chips. Wildcards are maybe a little bit different. I think they are team dependent. Like, I know a lot of people watch content to say, you know, when is the right time for me to wildcard? But I'm going to be honest, I think the reality is that every season is the same. You've kind of proved the fact, really, that you don't need to press the button to increase your rank all the time. It is very team dependent. You captained Salah when Harland scored 3 and assisted 2 against United. Had you captained Harland, I would have been really up there. But yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. And still to be in the top 55k with making that judgment with, you know, let's say at that point we now know it was the wrong choice, but I don't necessarily feel like it. At the time, it was definitely a very, very close call. So I can understand your reasoning. But you would have definitely been, what, top 10k at that point? It would have been an extra, say, 30 points for you. So you've had a very strong season, mate. Very strong season. Right, guys. Before I go, one more plug. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to go and do some shopping now, to be honest. I've promised the missus will go and do that. So need to go and get that sorted ahead of the game. Thank you very much for watching. Absolute amazing stream. Love all the engagement. It's as I say, I love creating content for you guys. It's been an absolute phenomenal journey so far. We're now only 67 subs away from that 500 mark, and we're still a few weeks away from the World Cup. So absolutely fantastic amount of support, guys. Really appreciate it. Good luck for this mess of a game week. Hopefully Pep's roulette hasn't damaged you too much. I know we've been talking about it for way too long on this channel now, or this particular stream. But yeah, very, very good luck for this week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, thanks again for all the support. It's massively appreciated. You benched Foden and Captain Martinelli. Good luck, mate. Very, very good call maybe on the benching of Foden. But let's see. Enjoy the games. I hope it's a green arrow for everybody. Thank you so much for the support again. And yeah, I'll see you more than likely in a couple of videos next week. I am travelling to Ireland with my work though next week, so I might not be able to create as much content. So there might be at least 1 video, maybe not 2. We'll see. But yeah, feel free to tune into another live stream, and I'll be back again probably next week, guys. So yeah, thanks again for joining, and yeah, take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.